Hello, students. You're welcome to another class by Brave Mr. Tutorials. Um, this evening, I'll be taking you on a topic in economics titled labor markets. Labor markets. My name is Konluwa. Labor market is defined as a market which workers and employers are brought into contact and conditions of work are decided. Labor market is defined as a market in which workers and employers are brought into contact and conditions of work are decided. That is a market where workers and employers meet for them to decide on the terms of condition or the kind of business deal they can have together. It is made up of people who are looking for job, employers and government. That is, labor market is made up of people who are looking for job. That's the employees now, the employers, maybe private companies, and even government too, that are looking for workers. So labor market is actually a place where the three elements of category of people meet. That is the job seekers, the employers, and the government parastatals. The concept of labor force now. Let's now look at what labor force means. Labor force can be defined as the total number of people of working age in a country who are gainfully employed and those who fall within the age brackets capable and willing to work by law and have no work to do in a country at a particular period of time. Labor force are simply the category of people that are willing to work and are within the working age. Working age here refers to maybe 18 years to 60 years in some countries. So people that fall within that category now, are people that are referred to as the labor force. That is the strength of the nation. People that are eager, that are agile, that are ready to work. But sometimes some of them are not even able to get a job at a particular period of time. So labor force is actually the working population of a country. So it comprises of those who have jobs and those who are looking for jobs. Now we also have factors affecting the supply of labor or size of labor force. That is, factors affecting the working population. Number one, the size of population. The higher the size of the population, the higher the working population, and vice versa. That is, when the size of the population increases, definitely the size of the working population increases. When the size of the population reduces, the size of the working population also reduces. They will have official school leaving age. If the school leaving age is low, the proportion of labor force will be high and vice versa. That is, for example, now, if students graduate from a particular school, maybe at the age of 25, that means that they will have high labor force. That is, they will have high number of working population. Then if the students graduate at a very old age too, let's say maybe they are graduating as 40 something years old, definitely they will also have a low working population. Then official age of retirement. If the age of retirement is raised, the supply of labor will tend to increase because more people will be available for work. That is, the normal age of retirement for example, in Nigeria is 60 years. If they now increase it to 65 years, which was proposed some years ago or even last year, that means we'll have more working population. They also have level of remuneration or the wage rate. The extent of salaries, wages, and other remunerations paid to the workers determines the number of people who may be willing to work. There are people that are not ready to work because they feel the wage rate is not satisfactory. They will also have migration. Immigration will increase and emigration will reduce the supply of labor. That is, if people come into a country, that's immigration, and they tend to increase the working population and supply of labor. If people leave the country, that's emigration, and they then tend to reduce the population of the country. For example, now, or the working population of the country. For example, now in the medical line now, there are sometimes we experience a lot of queue or long hours in the hospitals because of the fact that many doctors have emigrated or left the country, you understand, for greener pastures. Let's now look at mobility of labor. Mobility of labor refers to the ease with which workers or labor can move from one occupation to another, from one geographical area to another. Mobility of labor has to do with the ease, how easy it is for someone or for workers to leave a particular occupation to another occupation, or even leaving a particular geographical area to another one. For example, now maybe somebody working in Lagos feels like he can get better job in Port Harcourt and relocates to Port Harcourt. Or from a teacher, going for his professional exam with ICANN and converting to an accountant from the teaching profession. That's what we mean by mobility of labor. Let's now look at types of mobility of labor. Types of mobility of labor. We have occupational mobility of labor. Occupational mobility of labor. This refers to the ease with which workers can move from one job to another. For instance, a messenger can easily change to become a cleaner or a farmer. That's occupational mobility of labor. Or a teacher changing from being a classroom teacher to an accountant because of his professional exam. That's occupational mobility of labor. We now have geographical mobility of labor. This refers to the case with which workers can move from one geographical location to another. That is, for example, from Lagos to Port Harcourt, from Port Harcourt to Jos. Most times, even sometimes, some people even move from Nigeria to another country where they feel they'll be able to enjoy better pay. We now have industrial mobility of labor. Industrial mobility of labor. This refers to the ease with which workers can move within the same industry from one industry to another. Industrial mobility of labor has two aspects. We have the vertical industrial mobility of labor and horizontal industrial mobility of labor. Under the vertical mobility of labor usually takes the form of promotion with the same, it has to do with the form of promotion. That is, for example, now a vice principal of the school being promoted to a principal. So most times the person is also always within the same industry. While horizontal or lateral mobility of labor takes place when a worker moves from one industry to another, but still performs the same task or still occupies the same rank. For example, an accountant can leave a Star Beer factory at Aba for a textile mill at Aba. That is, he has left a drink or beer producing company to a textile making company, but his function or his duty or job role is still that of an accountant. So he's still performing the same task. But unlike vertical now, it's still within the same industry. For example, a vice principal being promoted to a principal. Let's now look at causes of mobility of labor or factors affecting or influencing mobility of labor. Number one, we have unfavorable working condition. For example, most times some professions, for example, an accountant earns more than a teacher now. So a teacher could just feel like once he writes his professional exam, he can just move to that line of accountancy. Then we have marriage. Most times this is unique to the female citizens. When they marry, they will just have to maybe change their job. Sometimes maybe because of the geographical mobility of labor, in the sense that where their husband stays is where they have to relocate to. We have irregular payment of salaries. Most times maybe those working with the government now, maybe they are owed for months, and as a result of that, the workers will just feel they have to just leave a particular profession or occupation and move to another. We have promotion. When someone is promoted now, and he feels he can get a better pay, he can decide to leave a particular profession. We have bad management. We have climate. Sometimes some areas are not okay because of the climate situation there. We have lack of job security. Lack of job security means when people are not sure of how long they will be able to work, for example, or when they can just experience a kind of mass retrenchment, when they don't have any particular union or body to fight for them if they are just fired from the job. So that always makes people to move from, for example, private sector to the public sector. We have lack of social amenities that can make people to seek for greener pasture in some other country. So now let's look at efficiency of labor. Efficiency of labor now refers to the extent or degree to which labor can be combined with other factors of production to yield maximum output. We have other factors of production which are land, capital, entrepreneur. So now that's the extent to which you can now attach land, capital, and entrepreneur to labor to yield maximum output is known as efficiency of labor. So in other words, efficiency of labor is the ability of labor to attain higher level of output without reduction in the quality of output. So factors affect determining efficiency of labor. Now we have education and training. Once people are trained properly, or maybe even how to use some machineries and other stuff, labor will be efficient. We have general working condition. General working condition. Once the working condition is palatable, then there will be efficiency of labor. Health of workers and availability of improved health facilities also determines efficiency of labor. We have amount of incentives or remuneration given to workers. This is a very vital role. If workers are paid poorly, they will not be motivated to work, and the efficiency of labor will not be achieved. Then the efficiency of other factors of production, maybe adequate capital and other stuff, make them work effectively. We have weather conditions, welfare services, and so on. So that's all for now. In our next class, we'll look at supply of labor. Supply of labor. So briefly, I've just told you of taking you on a topic that is titled the labor market. I told you that labor market is defined as a market which as a market where workers and employers are brought together in contact and conditions of work are decided. We have some labor market like all these Jumia. Look, Jumia is an e-commerce website. We have Upwork, Fiverr, where most times some employers will place a job there and people looking for a job can also meet with them. Then we also have the situation whereby government brings up recruitment exercise or opens a portal. So labor market is where government, private companies, and job seekers meet. So we've looked at that today, and we've also looked at concept of labor force. That's the working population of the country, and we also looked at the factors affecting the supply of labor or the working population, the size of population, and so on. Then lastly, we now look at mobility of labor, which refers to the ease with which workers or labor can move from one occupation to another. So that will be all for this class. My name is Mr. Ibukonluwa. Some of my students know me as Mr. Olatunji. So I am the lead tutor of Brain Boosters Tutorials and Top Scholars Academy. So please do expect more videos like this, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Brain Boosters Tutorials. Thank you for this class. If you have any question, you can just private chat me or place the question in the group. Thank you and have a lovely night rest. Bye for now.